quite there. And right now, again, if you think that they're not waging war against us on a multitude of levels, and you had that guy who was talking about separate power sources and weapons in the Arctic. Again, I don't think any of that is alien technology. I think that's advanced tech that's being hidden from us. But I do agree with him saying this.
I want to emphasize that we are currently in a state of war that people aren't realizing.
What is that?
These weapons are being wielded around us, against us. There are power players that are above nation states. Geographical boundaries and political parties mean very little to the wealthy elite on this planet. We're pawns, we're chattel. I am a person for the people. We, the people of this planet, deserve a better future than the one we are being presented. We've all, through our blood, sweat, and tears, we've invested here in the United States. We've invested our taxpayer dollars for these people to create weapon systems that they're using against us. It's a sin. It's illegal. It's a sin. It's immoral. And we have to do better for the future generations of this planet.
Yes, we do. And now, a word from our sponsor. That's all I'm saying. Just use it. Okay. Now we're going to talk about it. Now we're getting into dish brain. All right. And the military's investing, and already black projects within the military, within DARPA, have been utilizing this tech. They're just ready to put it out into the public arena now. Okay. Now's the time that they're rolling it out. So let's start with a little dish brain short, so everybody can get a little take on the dish brain.
Real human cortical neurons grow across a silicon chip. They act like wires in an ordinary computer chip, communicating with each other and other components. It's sort of like a mini brain, and it was already trained to play the video game Pong. It didn't play very well, but it learned incredibly efficiently compared with the digital AI. Hybrid chips could be a game changer for AI and medicine. They could be used for testing new drugs or researching diseases, or power the next generation of hybrid AIs. According to Cortical Labs, they grow, learn, and adapt much as we do. Time will tell what they can teach us.
New domain with synthetic biology, with CRISPR, with gain-of-function research. We saw a bit of it in COVID. And these are issues that absolutely must be discussed transparently on a national level. Because people are worried about AI. Wait till they find out what synthetic biology can do. We survive that so we can survive. But to answer your question, synthetic biology is the ability that scientists now have to re-engineer pathogens, period, full stop, right? And that means imagine any horrible disease and imagine being able to weaponize it, and that can be done. And it can be done in the lab, and therefore it mustn't be done in the same way that you can't spray Agent Orange over a country, right? So that should be the cautionary tale, I believe, for defense officials and for scientists to begin having this debate about what, lines that cannot be crossed.
And they've crossed them. They've crossed so many. And that's the thing. Annie knows this. And just from her book on Area 51 and talking to her sources, and especially the source where she's like, this crouton. If everything you've told me is this crouton, how much of it is in relation to this plate that you didn't tell me? He said, forget about the plate. How about the table? Okay? After telling her that the Area 51 Roswell aliens were really genetically engineered humans, surgically engineered humans to look like aliens, Mengele style via Stalin. Whether that's true or not, who knows? But his other response is, well, we didn't blow the lid off it because we were kind of doing the same thing.
making legislation accordingly. The problem is, as everyone will tell you in the national security sphere, is that the science is moving forward at the speed of lightning, and the courts and the legislators and the Congress are moving at a snail.
They want more regulation. The government is so corrupt, they've already regulated it through compartmentalization to things we cannot imagine. And that's my great fear, that they will roll out a chimera or a genetically engineered creature, and it will believe it's an alien. And many people will believe it's an alien. Just saying that. So, here's a clip of some, Frankenstein type stuff right here. Okay, I just want people to check this out.
We're looking at Oscar, the first human modular prototype that is able to live in various setups. What's going to happen is that I'm going to connect the brain to the heart module to activate the blood circulation. Now, the lung is going to start breathing. You can see both organs are now collaborating. I can add a kidney module. And if I add a limb module, I start actuating the organism to move. Now it's looking for the optimum temperature, which is 37 degrees. If I add another limb, Oscar will recognize it and beneficiate from the possibilities.
Nothing to worry about. This is just the public stuff. No big deal. We should have more of that. Sounds like a great idea. Why are you so worried about biomimetics, Jason? Why are you so worried about transgenics, Jason? Why don't you just embrace transhumanism? Yeah, that sounds fun. Now, obviously, a device like that, if properly utilized, could help paraplegics walk again. We're starting to see that stuff. In fact, we've talked about those with brain implants and spinal implants. It's working right now. But, I mean, you're looking at like a Franken chicken weird Mr. Potato Head puzzle thing. No, thank you. No, and don't worry. I mean, that could be your mind-controlled sex toy at some point, right? I mean, yay. That's where we're heading. Okay? And on the way there, they've got to, basically gaslight us and tell us that we've destroyed the planet. And the only way that we're going to have a chance to live is if we just give our powers over to a bunch of bureaucrats and politicians that have been funded by a oligarchical predator class hell-bent on collectivism. I was watching the Alex Jones, G. Edward Griffin interview from yesterday. G. Edward Griffin, 91 years young, still getting hit pieces wrote about him via the Washington Post. Seminal work. You talk about the creature from Jekyll Island. How about A Fearful Master? About the United Nations. How about that? How about so many things he's done? And, he lays it out. He says, look, all of these things, socialism, communism, it's all about collectivism. And this climate, guys, that transcends whatever political system you're supposedly a part of, is that ultimate collectivism. So here's Al Gore in 2020, inverting reality in a post-truth world at the COP. I think it's in 2020. It might be in 2021. I'm not sure. Whenever they had the Copenhagen summit, and he just starts talking about how historically the United States is making headwaves because they finally passed their climate bill. And remember, they tried to do the Build Back Better bill with their talking points, and everybody's like, no. And they had to rename it the infrastructure bill. But Zombie J, who you're going to see extensively in the second hour, openly said several times it was still the Build Back Better bill. It was a looting of the economy. The destruction The destruction of what was once left of even our fiat dollar system. It's in motion now. Just pointing that out. So here's Al Gore with his Johnny Nonsense. Thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. Almost at 100 thumbs. Can we do it, YouTube? Can we get 100?